Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Meiman. I build Tianjian No. 7 with global strength, crossing marvel. Jiang Bai unexpectedly discovered the Tianjian No. 7 ruins. With each repair, you can unlock angel technology. Fix 2%. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a generation of divine bodies. Fix 10%. Successfully summoned Angel Battle Legion. Fixed 50%, successfully revived planetary weapon. Justice Trial. Fix 100%. Successfully summon Cold Ice, Kaisha, Hushi, and restart the era of the Three Kings. Magneto. This is the direction of evolution that I have been dreaming of. I will fight for the King of Angels. Odin. Only you can save the gods from dusk, and blow the horn of Asgard's dawn. Destruction. My snap finger is only used to destroy those dirty fools, noble angels are not among them. Gu-yi. He walked out of darkness and came with light. Jiang Bai. Wherever the eyes gaze and the angels go, it is my angel kingdom. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. A decision that shocks the world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A week ago, the Battle of New York ended. The Avengers successfully defeated the interstellar-level attack led by Loki. The Lighthouse country benefited from misfortune and gained a large amount of technological knowledge from the Zetarians, leading to an unprecedented surge in national strength. The world is shocked. From then on, the whole world knows that besides Earth, there are countless other interstellar civilizations in the universe. So the problem is, the Lighthouse is dominated by the powerful Avengers Alliance. Another impermanent dragon kingdom, should it be used to protect its homeland security. Headline. Shocked. After this battle, Lighthouse technology has advanced for another 100 years. TX News. Nuclear deterrence may exit the historical stage. Without superheroes, where will the future path of Dragon Kingdom go? A famous public figure said. Only by bowing down and bowing to the Lighthouse Kingdom, and showing respect to the horse's head, can the Dragon Kingdom continue to survive. Under the overwhelming news bombardment, even residents living in remote mountainous areas have become concerned about the country and the people. At a time of global turmoil. In the southern waters of Longwa, Penglai Island, on a mountain peak that rises straight into the sky. Step by step. Amidst the low roar of the propellers, a heavy transport plane slowly landed at the foot of the mountain airport under layers of tight escort. Amidst the shrouded clouds and mist, the helicopter cabin door slowly opened, and a young man dressed in casual clothing, with a handsome face and sparkling eyes, stepped up the stairs. At every fifth level, 2 bodyguards with muscle explosions salute. Hello, Mr. Jiang. Jiang Bai gestured with his gaze and slowly spoke out, asking. How are you preparing for the Tianjian restart plan? The heroic female assistant behind her responded in a low voice, Mr. Jiang, the Heavenly Blade restart plan is almost ready. According to your request, the group has spent billions to establish 10 giant artificial berths in the Penglai Islands, with a daily throughput capacity that is the total capacity of 3 Victoria ports. In terms of funding, except for the Tianting Research Institute, all other assets have been sold and are expected to generate revenue of 800 billion yuan. At this moment, Jiang Bai and his group also arrived at the mountaintop smoothly. As layers of clouds and mist cleared away, a magnificent, distant and desolate palace ruins, filled with traces of time and battle, appeared before everyone. Looking at the towering female angel warrior statue in front of him, Jiang Bai opened his arms and said in a tone of nostalgia. Starting from today, I will do my best, even if I exhaust my last bit of wealth, to revive you and restore your former glory. Since a year ago, I have traveled to the perilous world of Marvel. Even though Jiang Bai is a descendant of a super-wealthy family, he has never had a good night's sleep. After all, this is a dangerous Marvel world. He will never forget when Loki led the army of Zeteri to descend on Earth. The terrifying sight of thousands of super aerospace warships blocking the sky and sun. Just the high-temperature jet from warship engines easily destroyed dozens of small Pacific countries. Not to mention the purple potato spirit who waved her fingers and executed the cosmic cleanup plan later. How difficult it is to survive in this world. If it weren't for my accidental discovery of the ruins of the Tianjian No. 7 battleship on Penglai Island and my successful genetic qualification certification, I would probably still be a powerless mortal now, wouldn't I? Thinking of this, Jiang Bai silently recited in his heart, "Summon the heavenly blade panel." The Skyblade panel operation panel has been generated. Name: Jiang Bai. Identity: the controller of Tianjian No. 7, the last king of angels current level. First generation Shinha civilization body, breaking the genetic lifespan limit, with physical fitness 10 times that of a normal person, sub-biological engine. None current warship damage rate. 98%, only retaining warship repair function, current materials required for repairing warships. 1 billion tons of iron ore, 50 million tons of silver ore, gold. Although he had seen it many times, when Jiang Bai finished browsing through the list of materials for repairing Tianjian No. 7. Still feeling a bit headache. Leaving aside those cosmic-grade ultra-rare metals such as dark metals, dark silver mines, and gold. The demand for basic mineral pig iron alone requires all the production of Dragon Country for a full decade. Relying solely on the production capacity of Dragon Country, it is impossible to achieve such a feat. Therefore, in order to rebuild Tianjian 7 as soon as possible, it is necessary to gather the power of global industry. Thinking of this, Jiang Bai took a deep breath and murmured to himself. Let me start this magnificent era. Notify the Public Relations Department to make my demands known to the world. Announce to the world. Although fully prepared in their hearts, when the professional managers behind Jiang Bai heard this command, their hearts still reached their throats. Mr. Jiang, every step is wrong, every step is wrong. This is a whole 800 billion yuan float. The Jiang family, which has been passed down for thousands of years, is it difficult to completely decline today. Mr. Jiang, why don't you give up this fanciful plan? Jiang Bai's gaze was firm, and he said word by word. I don't want to say my words again. The crowd dispersed in disappointment. It's okay. Let's just treat all of this as a mirror-like scene. I'll inform the Longhua News Department. I'll notify the American News Television. I'm going to hold a global press conference. Hey, I really don't understand what Mr. Jiang will get by doing this. What did you get? Watching professional managers with a gloomy expression, shaking their heads and sighing. Jiang Bai couldn't help but smile, a hint of mockery at the corner of his mouth. Only repaired 2% of the functionality of Tianjian No. 7. He obtained a generation of Divine River civilization and a large number of world-leading technologies. So, what kind of turbulence will it cause when Tianjian No. 7 is 100% repaired? This, even Jiang Bai himself, is a bit elusive. Just as Jiang Bai let go of his thoughts and pondered on the grand plan for the future. The 800 billion yuan construction plan of the Jiang family has already spread its wings to every corner of the world. For a moment, the whole world was amazed. Chapter 2. Dragon Country, Jiang Family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The phone rang for the president of Longhua, the largest industrial federation in China. Hello, this is Longting Industry Federation. What? An order worth 800 billion yuan. The president, with a plump expression, pressed out his cigar and asked incredulously. Are you talking about the Jiang family, the super family that has been passed down for thousands of years and still immortal? What? A total of 30 million tons of steel production. Looking at the global steel production, it's just 200 million tons. What does Jiang Shao need to do with this steel? You can try asking Mr. Jiang in person. I'm sorry for being rude. When will Mr. Jiang need it? The faster, the better. After hanging up the phone, the president of the Industrial Federation sat in a chair with his eyes wide open for a long time, continuously recalling the previous conversation in my mind. His 30 million tons of steel. Even if calculated based on the current highest price of 6,000 yuan per ton, it would require a full 180 billion yuan in dragon coin. Even the former world's richest man Bill Gates, his wealth is only a few hundred billion. And this 180 billion yuan is only the price for the Jiang family to purchase steel. This is simply too shocking. It can be foreseen that the entire Longwei industry, and even the entire global steel industry, will go completely crazy for it. President, this is the list of energy-saving indicators for steel this year, and it is expected that production will gradually decrease this year. Before the Secretary General who came in to report could finish speaking, he was interrupted by the excited president of the Industrial Association. Reduce. Who asked you to reduce? Notify all steel companies to increase production capacity for me at all costs. The spring of our steel industry has completely arrived. At the same time, the American Ministry of Industry on the other side of the ocean. Oh my God! Is this dragon man going crazy? He's actually going to buy 10,000 tons of silver. This behavior of manipulating silver prices through ultra-high cash flow completely violates the contractual spirit of the financial market. Do you guys who play finance have a damn contractual spirit? Just one sentence, do you sell or not? Sell. At this moment, in South America, Jili has the world's largest copper reserves. When the Jiang family business delegation arrived at Jili, King Jili personally came forward to receive him. Your Majesty the King, we are here to purchase 30% of your country's copper production for the next 3 years. In the magnificent palace, when the representative of the Jiang family's trade said this sentence, everyone present took a deep breath. Above the throne, the king in full attire also burst out with a hint of brilliance in his extremely turbid eyes. The old king remained silent for a long time before squinting his eyes and slowly speaking out. Even if it's 30%, the total production in the past 3 years is still over 1 million tons. Can you eat it? The representative of Jiangxia Trading smiled slightly and said, we can settle the bill in cash. Africa, the world's largest gold mine, the Rand Gold Mine. On the edge of the huge mine, the gold mine manager pointed to the open-pit mine, which was hundreds of meters deep, and proudly said, this is the world's largest gold mine to date, with an annual production of up to 1,000 tons. The gold flowing out from here accounts for 50% of the world's gold supply. Looking around the world, no organization can buy all this gold in one go. Su Xuefei, with a hot figure and a cold and beautiful face, lifted her black-framed glasses and said coldly, you had good luck today, you happened to meet me. The person in charge hesitated slightly and said, Miss Su, what do you mean by that? 1,000 tons of gold, but a whole 100 billion dragon national coins. My meaning is very simple. From today until this time next year, every gram of gold produced here has been purchased by me. If you're willing, we can sign the contract now. Looking at the formal contract that Su Xuefei pulled out, the person in charge finally realized that the extremely beautiful woman in front of him had taken her seriously. Hush. This is 1,000 tons of gold. It's equivalent to a major country's strategic gold reserves. What exactly does this mysterious Eastern woman want to do? As his face changed, the person in charge finally showed respect. May I ask where you are sacred? Su Xuefei smiled slightly and said, Dragon Kingdom, Jiang family. On January 3, the world's largest steel federation won a massive order of tens of millions of tons and began explosive production throughout the year. On January 27, the world's largest exporter of copper mines, Chile, announced that it had won a 1 million copper mine order and began explosive production throughout the year. On March 19, South Africa, the country of gold, announced with one shocking news after another, it came out one after another. Global metal prices are starting to skyrocket. The news media and intelligence agencies of various countries are all moved by the news. After investigating the ultimate direction of these financial materials. Global shock. The dragon country Jiang family has invested billions of dollars to purchase financial supplies worldwide. At once, thousands of material transport ships, like locusts passing through, carried batches of metal, rushing towards Penglai Island in the Dragon Kingdom. In a moment, global fishing vessels were completely fried. Some people criticize Jiang Bai for sensationalism, while others feel that Jiang Bai is preparing to do something earth-shattering. For a while, discussions on this matter on international fishing vessels have been increasing day by day. In the end, it finally caught the attention of the Avengers of America. Chapter 3. Bright Lights, Blocking the Sky and Sunday. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. On the top floor of the Stark Industrial Building in the United States. Looking at the various materials on the electronic light screen, Tony Stark said thoughtfully. 30 million tons of steel, 10,000 tons of silver, 5,000 tons of gold, various special alloys. Oh my God, what exactly does Jiang Bai want to do? Jarvis, if you get these materials, what would you use them for? So many metal materials are enough for him to build a steel Great Wall. Tony Stark turned around and spoke slowly to his AI butler Jarvis. I always feel that there is a huge secret hidden inside. Sir, before answering the question, I think you should take a look at this document. As the light screen constantly changes, pieces of information continue to converge. A material composition of a space battleship about the Zetarians appeared in front of Tony Stark. Tony Stark frowned and looked at it for a while before slowly speaking out. Jarvis, do you mean that this dragon man named Jiang Bai is trying to build an interstellar battleship? Yes sir, in the previous Battle of Twist of the Pact, more than 20 Zetarian warships went missing. The Jiang family is highly likely to have obtained the key technology and attempted to conduct research on it. According to supercomputing analysis, this is destined to be an extremely foolish move. Unexpectedly, Steve shook his head and said in admiration, no, this is a desperate revolution. Steve's face was solemn, and he was very clear about the enormous technological value behind Jiang Bai's crazy move. In the 1940s, the billion-dollar super soldier program sparked by World War II propelled biotechnology forward for 30 years and ushered in the era of genetically modified humans. In the 1990s, the Bear and the United States engaged in a billion-dollar arms race, which propelled space technology forward by 50 years and ushered in the era of space exploration. Now, the Jiang family's trillion-dollar construction plan is likely to usher in the era of interstellar exploration. Under the impetus of such massive funds, the world is bound to usher in a new round of technological revolution. And Tony Stark, how could I miss this technological feast? After the Battle of Tortoise, Tony Stark, who felt his own strength was weak, looked uplifted and said, you can dispatch 2 war machines and establish technical connections with them. What I wish for now, sir. As the rooftop launch well opened one by one, 2 planes of war rose from the ground and flew towards the distance. New York, Brotherhood headquarters, in an ancient and dilapidated church. Magneto, with graying hair and a determined face, closed the Bible and said in a highly appreciative tone. Without a doubt, this is a very outstanding talent. Only by allowing him to join us can we demonstrate his true value. Between words, Magneto turned around and said to the 2 people below the steps. Quine, Wanda, you are the latest members to join. This incident happens to be a valuable experience for you. Give you 3 days to bring this young man back. As you wish. In the next second, Quine and Wanda will turn into 2 streams of air, one white and one red, and disappear. Divine Shield Bureau, within the director's office. Tony Stark, mutants, and the elusive Hydra. Looking at the information coming from the table like snowflakes, Nick Fry, the head of Soy Egg, only felt exhausted physically and mentally. The aftermath of the Battle of Twistu has not been thoroughly dealt with, and as a result, a new storm has already emerged. Although he is still unclear about what this young man from the Dragon Kingdom named Jiang Bai ultimately wants to do. But there is one thing that can be foreseen. In the near future, Penglai Island in the Dragon Kingdom will become a whirlpool of world storms. No superpower organization can stand outside. In fact, the solution to the problem is also very simple. That is to find a way to end Jiang Bai's crazy behavior. But Nick Fry still can't do this. Thanks to the terrifying financial and social connections of the Jiang family, almost no one can stop what Jiang Bai wants to do. Once Nick Fry attempts to mobilize national power, it is highly likely to trigger strategic confrontation between countries. For Nick Fury, who is extremely anxious, he can't even afford such a big pot. Nick Fry pondered for a long time before slowly speaking out. Notify Eagle Eye and Natasha, let them both go together. Bald-headed Coulson heard this and spoke slowly, I'll go handle it now, Director. Just as forces from all over the world are surging and dispatching relevant forces to Penglai Island. At this moment, Penglai Island, located in the middle of the night, is brightly lit and brightly lit. On the vast sea, there are super oil tankers shuttling back and forth everywhere. Above the sky, drones used for navigation and communication cover the sky and sun. The earth-shattering cries and thousands of metal materials poured continuously into Penglai Island through giant conveyor belts. After an unknown amount of time, Jiang Bai, who was sitting in the ruins of the palace on the mountaintop, closed his eyes and regained his senses, finally heard a long-awaited warning sound in his ear. Ding! The progress of the warship repair has been completed by 10%, and the new feature has been successfully unlocked. Chapter 4. In the name of angels, just execution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Listen to the prompt sound in your ear. Jiang Bai took a deep breath and forcefully calmed down the excitement in his heart. Since the moment he took a desperate gamble and forcefully propelled the recovery of the heavenly blade. He doesn't know how much external pressure and questioning he has endured. Especially with the recent influx of huge resources. Just the daily transportation cost is calculated in billions. I can't sleep at night. Fortunately, all the hard work and efforts have finally paid off today. Ding, 10% of the Tianjian knowledge base has been unlocked synchronously, and the Women's Martial God Temple has been successfully unlocked. The program for the Valkyrie Shrine has been loaded. Do you want to activate it? Activate. Jiang Bai did not hesitate to click OK. Boom boom. Amidst the deep roar. A magnificent and classical palace rises from the ground, shining with dazzling light. On the attribute panel in front of Jiang Bai, specific information about this palace also emerges. Valkyrie Temple. Capable of cultivating 3 generations of angel warriors and Valkyrie women. Current level. Level 2. The current maximum number of cultivable students is 10. Surprisingly, it is a 3-generation divine river civilization. Jiang Bai was momentarily taken aback, and then a little surprised in his heart. Angel warriors with 3 generations of divine bodies have completely escaped the limit of physical death. As long as there is a continuous stream of energy, one can maintain the immortality of life. However, this does not mean that this physique is invincible. Once encountering a weapon crafted from high-purity Xinjin, it can still cause fatal damage to the 3rd-generation divine body. After all, high-purity vibrating gold can isolate all energy transmission. Tianjian, if I want to create 10 angels, how many materials do I need? In the material analysis calculation, 50 kilograms of dark silver are required, but currently there is no available. 50,000 tons of refined iron can be used instead. We need 5 pounds of hidden gold, currently unavailable. We can replace it with 50 tons of gold. With material information listed one by one, the cost of just an angel warrior easily exceeded 2 billion dragon coins. This cost is almost equivalent to the cost of the most advanced ghost bomber in the United States. But the combat capabilities between the two are vastly different. An angelic Valkyrie armed to the teeth, capable of destroying a large city at any time. Without a doubt, this is a very cost-effective deal. Tianjian, list the Valkyrie as the highest level construction plan. Ding, the warship repair plan is temporarily suspended. The highest level construction of the Valkyrie has been initiated. In the material warehouse, most of the originally piled up refined iron was instantly cleared. In the modeling of the female warrior god's body. In the Valkyrie shrine, 10 pillars of light were suddenly projected. Among them, a delicate and graceful body appeared in Jiang Bai's sight. In the modeling of Valkyrie's armor. Wow! Silver blocks that had already been prepared were automatically merged into the light without any wind. Formed exquisite armor on the Valkyrie, making one dizzy and dizzy. In the modeling of the Valkyrie weapon. Buzz, buzz. Large pieces of pure gold form sharp long swords, blooming with a dazzling light. The Valkyrie pays her respects to the King of Angels. In the neat and uniform voice of the Oriole, 10 female martial gods dressed in sacred armor, with fiery figures, slender legs, and holding golden holy swords, elegantly saluted Jiang Bai. Every move, sacred, holy, beautiful and powerful. Suddenly, an alarm sounded in Jiang Bai's ear. Warning, unidentified aerial reconnaissance detected at high altitude. Should we proceed with the attack? Upon hearing this, Jiang Bai's face slightly darkened. The city of angels, how can others provoke at will? At present, Jiang Bai said in an indifferent voice, go, shoot down all those flies for me. I will carry out your will. Except for 3 battle angels guarding Jiang Bai, who are on standby. The remaining 7 battle angels spread their wings, rose from the ground, and took off in an instant. Above a height of 30,000 meters. A U-2 Blackbird high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft is constantly shooting at the ruins on the mountaintop while chatting with headquarters. Blackbird, you're too close, it's easy to cause international conflicts. Listening to the sound coming from the earphones, the pilot said indifferently. What's the point of this? Looking at the whole world, what kind of fighter jet can catch up with the Blackbird? They are only worthy of eating my exhaust gas. Suddenly, he saw something, widened his eyes, and said with a shocked expression. Wait. Oh my God. What did I see? An angel with wings flew towards us. 2 angels, one in front and one behind, slowly raised their long swords in their hands. Just execution. In the extremely shocked gaze of the pilot, 2 golden sword energies rushed towards them. Above the sea, on a reconnaissance ship disguised as a fisherman. Several muscular men with fierce faces are crazily shooting at enemies in the sky with heavy weapons. Mutants. These must be those damn mutants. Hurry up and use genetic weapons. What makes them somewhat desperate is that even with the use of genetic weapons specifically designed to counter mutants, still unable to cause any harm. What kind of people are you? The angel warrior raised his holy sword high and said with a cold expression. According to your mortals, you can call us angels. After speaking, the holy sword transformed into a fiery dragon and suddenly fell. And all of this was crazily transmitted to every corner of the world through nearby media cameras. For a moment, the world was shocked. A flower, a review ticket, a reward. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 1 flower, 1 evaluation ticket, 1 reward, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Chapter 5. The Amazed American People. Who are angels for? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Shocked. Extremely shocked. In a certain sea area of Dragon Kingdom, it is suspected that a large number of female battle angels have appeared. For a moment, the news seemed to have wings inserted. At an extremely fast speed, a huge wave was stirred up within the Dragon Kingdom. Headline: Shocked by the United States. Why do battle angels appear in the waters of Dragon Kingdom? The experts from Mao Xiongwa have spoken the truth. TX. Raise our country's prestige. Dragon Kingdom's battle angel sinks enemy aircraft carrier with 1 sword in a certain sea area. Discovery. Is the appearance of angelic creatures in the waters of the Dragon Kingdom a moral decline or a distortion of human nature? Fenghuang.com. Chasing the first crime scene, Fenghuang.com invites you to watch the truth about the appearance of angels. With the continuous spread of major news, the internet is also a complete frying pan. With sarcastic remarks. This video looks fake no matter how it looks, okay? Don't deceive yourself here. It's just bullshit. Have you ever seen an angel that looks so beautiful, wearing mini skirts on each one? It's really the sorrow of the country, the sorrow of the nation. Even now, we are still using this method to fool the people. Stop and wait for your people. Even if this is true, we should still stand from the perspective of all humanity and provide the esteemed American people. That's right, only the noble American people are the last redemption for all of us humanity. There are also inexplicably uplifting. Excited to the point of crying. In my vast country, there has finally emerged a superpower to defend our homeland. These angels all flew out of Penglai Island, which belongs to the Jiang family. From this, it can be inferred that they are clearly our country's superpowers. Damn it, those public knowledge old dogs on the internet are really despicable. They can lick so much, why don't they treat my American dad like a dog? You can't persuade those foreign dogs. In their eyes, even American dad's poop is fragrant. Damn it, after holding back for so long, I finally let out a hard breath. I really hope these angels have come to help us. Just as the Chinese people were crazily discussing the origin of these battle angels. Foreign fishing vessels have also fallen into a state of crazy confusion due to this incident. On Broadway Square in the United States, huge screens are playing scenes of several battle angels fighting. When the angel carried bullets and fired, raising the holy sword in his hand, the crowded crowd gathered in awe and exclaimed, "Oh, my God! These are all true angels. Beautiful and powerful. Just like what is recorded in the Bible. These beautiful and noble creatures do indeed exist. They are all messengers sent by God. These angels will become strong evidence of our God's existence." The appearance of angels made many people kneel on the ground in excitement, crying and kissing the earth. In this world, there is nothing more beautiful than making one's faith come true. Just then, a child in the crowd suddenly asked a question. If these are all our angels, why would they appear in other countries? Although the child voice is childish, it makes everyone around it slightly stunned. Yes, why don't these noble and beautiful angels come to bestow upon them these loyal and humble believers? Another more important question is, who are these battle angels fighting for? This answer is not waiting for people to think about it. The next second, the image in the screen already gives the answer. In the picture, a white man covered in blood puts down his gun and kneels on the deck, shouting, "Noble angel! Don't kill me. Shouldn't we be together?" Seemingly to express his faith, the white man hurriedly took out a Bible from his pocket. Unexpectedly, the angel not only had no intention of stopping, but with a cold expression, he raised his golden holy sword high and said, "You are just a group of cults." Humph. In the white light of the sky, the screen suddenly came to an end. Those who have come to a standstill, there are also those stunned citizens. They looked surprised and their minds were filled with confusion. What exactly is going on here? Why do angels attack them? Shiswa, Vatican gang, inside the Cathedral of the Son of Christ. On the noble and magnificent papal chair, the elderly pope suddenly opened his extremely cloudy eyes and threw them to the ground, saying with a loud voice, "Angels, they should always be our protectors. They shouldn't just be stolen by the despicable dragon people like this. Reinhardt, lead your order of punishments to welcome back our glory." As he watched the Grand Knight turn around and leave, the Pope closed his eyes and murmured to himself, "This time, I will fight for our faith." "As you wish, my esteemed Pope." The knight, dressed in magnificent knight armor and wielding a large sword, lifted his head and turned to leave. Zhongdong, inside the Zhengzhou Cathedral. Watching the believers kneeling on the ground in the desert, with a mournful expression on their faces. The high priest standing on the altar, holding golden scepters, shouted loudly, "These so-called angels are just some heretics. All the great believers who believe in God, please pick up your weapons and defend our orthodoxy. Long live Zhengzhou!" Everyone shouted loudly and turned around to leave. As all the people and horses set out on the road again. The global situation is once again stirring up cloud users. For a moment, everyone's gaze was focused on the small island named Penglai on the map. Chapter 6. Black Widow arrives. February 10th, fresh demand. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Global Shock. Attention to the world. A steady stream of explosive news was released. Pope's Daily. Grand Knight Reinhardt will form an Eastern Crusade to defend the glory of the Holy See. The Papal Office issued a statement. Whether in the past or in the future, the noble angels have always fought for God. As soon as these words are spoken, the world boils with excitement. Oh my God! Finally, someone has come forward to uphold justice. Looking forward to the Grand Knight welcoming the angels back. The despicable dragon people dare to occupy our noble angels. It's completely unforgivable. If I were 10 years younger, I would definitely join the crusade. It's really exciting. This must be a great achievement that goes down in history. Vatican gang, almost the entire nest is out. The crusader of the Eastern expedition, the sword points to Penglai Island. This news is like a heavy bomb. Stir up a huge wave on the Dragon Kingdom network. The original meaning of the so-called Eastern Expedition Crusade was to invade the East. In the Middle Ages, the East meant everywhere gold and beauty. At this critical moment, the formation of the crusade to the East signifies the significance of Vati's recent action. It's so obvious. Even so, there are still many public intellectuals online who are crazily clamoring. Ignorance. Ignorance. You are like a cesspool of human civilization. Angels are already someone else's property, what's wrong with them taking them today? The sorrow of the nation. The misfortune of the country. We should respectfully invite guests in and return what should belong to them, so as to deserve to be a great country. Penglai Jiang family, this is purely banditry. Of course, more of this is filled with righteous indignation. Damn it. So those little videos are real. Angels have actually appeared on the sea surface of our country. I'm sorry about you. Our dragon kingdom has been developing for decades. If you say Eastern Expedition, then we will go east. If you come over, I dare to chop you down. Damn it. I'm actually deceiving people too much. I thought we were still in the Dragon Kingdom 100 years ago, right? Not much comparison. Liaodong people come to report. I'll kill one when I come, I'll kill two when I come. Since ancient times, the people of Sichuan have suffered from the future. I didn't have time to participate in the war 80 years ago, and I will accompany them to the end in the battle 80 years later. Sergeant Bula from the Sichuan army comes to report. Such a heroic feat, how could it not have been without my Yen people participating? Although I am now a farmer, I still have a strong fighting spirit. Yen people Zhang Ida came to report. Jingzhou people come to report. People from Yuzhou come to report. At this moment, Penglai Immortal Island, within the City of Angels. When Jiang Bai finished listening to Su Xuefei's report on the world situation, especially after the report of the fierce Eastern Expedition Crusaders, Jiang Bai only replied with 4 words. To please the public. A civilization that doesn't even have its own history and treats myths as history has no right to demand orthodoxy. Jiang Bai's expression remained silent, and his gaze awkwardly said. Where are the angels chasing after? Angels' pursuit is always at the mercy of the King of Angels. In the clear and beautiful voice of Auriel, an angel holding a holy sword steps out. She has a hot and slender figure, wearing a silver armor with intricate patterns on her upper body, elegant and powerful. Wearing a red mini-skirt, revealing her slender and powerful fair legs. During walking, one will exhibit a devilish figure that is both concave and convex. Mature and charming, like a ripe peach. Can't help but pounce and take a bite. And her extremely sharp phoenix eyebrows, as well as the golden holy sword on her left hand. Let her carry a hint of holy and aloof heroism. Elegant and charming, sacred and powerful. Jiang Bai casually pointed to the west and said, since they want it, then you can give them an orthodoxy. After you complete the task, I will appoint you as my personal guard. As soon as these words were spoken, the angels around all showed a hint of extreme envy in their eyes. This is becoming the king's personal guardian angel. For these battle angels who specialize in combat, being able to become one of them can be said to be an unparalleled honor. And the angel chasing after the party was even more excited, half kneeling on the ground and throwing it loudly. Angels chasing will not disappoint the king's mission. Boom! The next second, the angel chased and spread its wings, under the powerful blessing of the 3 divine bodies. Transformed into a phantom and quickly disappeared from everyone's sight. Mr. Jiang, is it really appropriate to only send angels to pursue one person? Although I had already witnessed the power of angel chasing before. But when Su Xuefei saw that only angels were chasing after one angel to fight, there is still some drumming in my heart. This is really shocking. In my eyes, the so-called Eastern Expedition Crusaders are just some ants. The only thing that can pique my interest is probably the Divine Shield Bureau. As soon as the words fell, Jiang Bai's ear suddenly heard the prompt sound of Tianjian No. 7. Warning, unidentified intruders found on the perimeter of the warship. The holographic image is being established. In the light blue screen in front of me, 2 figures suddenly appeared. A man and a woman. Watching the 2 of them sneaking around, Jiang Bai smiled slightly and said. Sure enough, the soy egghead sent her here. Su Xuefei was slightly taken aback, blinked her eyes, and said, Mr. Jiang, do you know these 2 people? Jiang Bai smiled and said, I must know her, after all, she is a famous black widow. Chapter 7. The Terrifying Super Civilization. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 7 on the periphery of Tianjian No. 7, inside the sewer of the construction site. Azu. The sudden silence startled the eagle-eye walking ahead. He was startled and quickly pulled out his bow and arrow from behind, aiming at the source of the sound. "Don't be nervous, Eagle Eye. The voice I just made was mine." In the darkness, with red hair all over her head and wearing construction clothes, Natasha walked over, touching her nose. In her hand, there is also a safety helmet. It is obvious that Natasha came in through disguise. "Natasha, you shouldn't have made such a mistake." Eagle Eye put down the bow and arrow in his hand and said in a faint and displeased tone. It was obvious that he was very dissatisfied with Natasha's sudden voice. It's no wonder, after all, the two of them were carrying out a stealth operation at an enemy base. And everything I saw and heard along the way was silently telling the two people. This place looks very complicated. In case something goes wrong. Two people are afraid to fall into an irreversible situation. Sorry, I don't want that either. Natasha lifted her shoulders and said helplessly, I always feel like someone was cursing me just now. Eagle Eye only thought she was joking, and after determining the location, he stuck a stress bomb onto the wall. I turned around and whispered to Natasha, how have you been excavating the 3D structure map of this island? The situation is very bad. When talking about the matter, Natasha's face immediately became serious. She took out a set of holographic projectors from her arms and fiddled with them repeatedly, saying, When I invaded the construction site, I accidentally obtained the pre-construction drawings. Comprehensive construction drawings. Is there anything nice about this? Eagle's eyes furrowed their brows slightly, and they said somewhat disapprovingly. But soon, when he saw the holographic construction map clearly, his eyes widened in shock. Wait. Why is the entire Penglai Island within the construction scope in holographic projection? Densely packed construction sites are scattered throughout the entire Penglai Island. From the majestic giant palace on the mountaintop to the underwater riverbed, heavy construction sites are everywhere. The above data indicates that the daily metal throughput of these heavy construction units has reached an astonishing hundreds of tons. If we add up all these engineering quantities, the daily metal consumption would be over 100,000 tons. What exactly does this dragon man want to do? Hawkeye only felt a slight tingling on his scalp. He originally thought that what Jiang Bai did was just to manipulate global metal prices with massive funds. But judging from the current situation, this guy is indeed building an extremely terrifying thing. Faced with Eagle Eye's question, Natasha took a deep breath and said, What he wants to do is actually quite simple. You just need to connect these peripheral construction points. As Natasha's fingers dashed, the construction points on the holographic projection went from point to surface, from surface to surface, and finally formed a terrifying behemoth as high as 1 kilometer. The main structure of this behemoth resembles a giant ape. On either side, there are two pairs of huge wings spreading their wings, as if they are about to rise from the ground and soar in the next second. Giant objects give people a grand, graceful, and unparalleled sense of vastness and beauty. It is refreshing and delightful, and I can't help but feel intimidated. Warships. This is clearly a super battleship. Eagle Eye seemed to have realized something and suddenly became excited, saying, And I'm sure that such sacred technology is not something that the dirty bugs of the Zetarians can touch. At this moment, Natasha's heart was also filled with uncontrollable terror. Indeed, as Eagle Eye said, the warships of the Zetarians certainly looked terrifying. And it also caused significant damage to the Twisted U. However, after post-mortem analysis, it appears that the warships of the Zetarians were powerful, but fundamentally they were a result of biological and mechanical mutations. Not only does it lack any beauty, but the internal structure is also full of chaos and disorder. It gives a completely pieced-together feeling. It's completely different from the holy and vast behemoth in front of us. Without a doubt, this clearly comes from a more powerful civilization. And what Jiang Bai is currently doing is trying to revive this terrifying civilization. Crazy. This is simply too crazy. If it really makes Jiang Bai successful, So what kind of terrifying impact will it have on all humanity? Natasha and Hawkeye exchanged a glance, all seeing the astonishment and shock in the other person's eyes. We must quickly inform the director of this matter. Natasha quickly took out her dedicated communicator and said in a deep voice, Eagle Eye, what do you think we should call this super battleship? Just call it Tianjian No. 7. Tianjian No. 7. This is indeed a good. Suddenly, Natasha's face changed slightly. This is not what Eagle Eye said. Looking up, Eagle Eye was looking behind the two with a frightened expression on its face. Natasha's delicate body was tense, and she quickly turned around to see that her face also changed drastically. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lingxi. In sight, a female angel holding a holy sword slowly walked towards her from the brilliant light. Chapter 8. They want to die, I won't stop them. 4. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. New Moon, headquarters of the Divine Shield Bureau, within the director's office. Wearing a straight suit and a meticulous expression, bald-headed Coulson walked into the director's office and said, Director, things are not going well. Natasha and Hawkeye have lost contact. This is the last communication information they left behind. Between words, Coulson took out a holographic projector from his pocket and began playing. In sight, a slender and delicate female battle angel bowed slightly. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lingxi. In the voiceover, suddenly came the cry of Eagle Eyes. As Lingxi slowly spread its huge, pure white wings behind it, the scene suddenly plunged into darkness. Angels, do there really exist angels in this world? Soy Egg closed his eyes and took a deep breath. No one could see the expression on his face clearly. This question is not only like asking Coulson, but also like asking himself by the head of Soy Egg. Looking at the extremely dark face of Soy Egg head, Coulson was also confused for a moment. Yeah, do angels really exist? If it really exists, why would you stand on the opposite side of yourself? For a moment, Coulson fell into deep worry. You should know that Natasha and Hawkeye have the best combat power in the Divine Shield Bureau. Even if it is a scientific research ship that lurks deep enough to be a Hydra, it is still an easy task. It can be seen from the background in the video. Natasha and Hawkeye have not even invaded the interior of the island. It was captured by humanoid creatures suspected of being angels. It can be seen from this that the combat power of these angels is even stronger than they expected. This is just one angel deployed. If the Angel Legion moves together, who can stop them within the scope of Earth? Two people exchanged a glance at each other, both seeing the worries in each other's eyes. For a while, both Soy Egghead and Bald Head were speechless. Suddenly, a staff member approached and reported. Director, regarding the historical search information investigation of this angel civilization, we have made breakthrough progress. In an ancient relic, we found the remains of a weapon with the same style as the angel's hand. When the head of the Soy Egg was shocked, he said, Where are the things? Bring them here quickly and let me have a look. For Soy Egg Head. The most urgent task at present is nothing more than to learn as much as possible about this force that seems like an enemy but not a friend. If key information about angels can be inferred from the wreckage of this weapon, that would be the best. Quickly, a large metal box was lifted by two heavy robots. As the box slowly opened, Soy Egghead and Coulson held their breath at the same time. In the dreamy blue light, a light red blade fragment the size of a thumb was spinning continuously in the magnetic field. On the weighing scale below, it shows the weight of this fragment. 1943 tons. How could the weight of this blade fragment be so heavy? Could this be a problem with the instrument? Coulson said with a surprised expression upon hearing this. The staff couldn't help but look excited and say, Actually, at first we thought the same way, but later on no matter how we changed the instruments, the final weighing weight was the same. At this point, the staff's faces became increasingly excited. As for the reason for this wait, it's actually very simple. You just need to constantly magnify the microscope and observe the surface of the blade to know. Corson hesitantly activated the microscope on the metal box and began to quickly zoom in. Under 100,000 times, the surface of the sword edge is incredibly smooth. Under 200,000 times, the surface of the sword edge is still incredibly smooth, with no signs of molecular movement at all. 300,000 times. 400,000 times. Even if it's 1,000,000 times. The surface of the sword edge is still in an absolutely smooth state. Call me a scanning tunneling electron microscope and magnify it up to 100 million times. Soy Egg 2 immediately realized the seriousness of the matter and gave an order. Zoom in to 100 million times and you can directly observe the atomic level hierarchy. Under this detection, regardless of the composition of any metal substance, it can be scanned and analyzed. When the image of the scanning tunneling electron microscope appears in front of everyone present felt a deep fear. Absolutely smooth. Still in an absolutely smooth state. That is to say, the density of this wreckage is so huge that even the atoms are tightly packed together. From the current level of human technology, this is completely a fantasy. Miracle. This is completely a miracle. At this moment, the researchers' eyes are becoming increasingly fanatical. No, this can't even be described as a miracle. Do you know why I said that? Before coming, we tested the carbon-14 half-life attached to this wreckage and found that it has a history of 5 billion years. That is to say, 400 million years before the birth of Earth, this angelic civilization had already emerged. An angelic civilization that is even older than Earth. Coulson only felt that a huge wave had stirred up in his heart. Damn it! From the beginning to the present. What kind of enemy are we fighting against? The whole person is in extreme shock. Suddenly, the Coulson communication device rang, and upon opening it, it looked. The entire army of Vatican's Crusade army has been destroyed, and it is suspected to have been hit by combat angels. The Pope's headquarters has requested military sanctions from the headquarters. Oh shit! Coulson, who has always claimed to be a gentleman, said in a rare outburst. Tell these foolish guys they want to die, I won't stop them. But don't pull us in. After Coulson hung up the phone, he suddenly realized his mistake. As a small agent, how can one take over and make decisions for the director of the Divine Shield Bureau? Director, I'm sorry, I'm too excited. I'll retract the order now. Unexpectedly, Soy Egg shook its head and said. No, you did very well in this matter. As for Natasha and Hawkeye's military rescue plan, let's temporarily cancel it. Now, we can only exchange Natasha and Hawkeye through negotiation. Chapter 9. It gave birth to our entire human civilization. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just at the head of Soy Egg, he refused the request of Vatican for help. And tried to send a group of envoys to find a way to exchange Natasha and Hawkeye back. A battle video about the Crusaders of the Eastern Expedition and Angel Chasers. Also spreading at an extremely fast speed on major media platforms around the world. In the video, hundreds of knights dressed in heavy armor and wielding cross swords, crazily attacking the angels in the sky like a tide. What makes them somewhat desperate is that no matter how they attack, still unable to break through the wings chased by angels. Even the Grand Knight Reinhardt launched his strongest attack, piercing the shoulder of Angel Chaser with a sword. Looking at the next second, the angels chasing shoulder heals at a speed visible to the naked eye. It seems that those attacks that make knights proud. It's meaningless in front of the female angel. Despair. Completely unprecedented despair. Just judgment. As the angel chased after him with a sword, a large number of knights let out a muffled sound, and blood spilled on the spot. Now, the members of the Eastern Expedition Crusade had a complete mental breakdown. He threw away his weapon and turned around to run away. There was also a devout face, kneeling on the ground in pain and tears, begging the respected angel to forgive their sins. As a result, the Crusaders of the Eastern Expedition were completely defeated. Global shock. The whole world is boiling. On Broadway Square in the United States. Looking at the defeated knight on the screen. And spread out your wings, the angel chasing down the supreme divine light. All the people, completely shocked. They are disorganized. Oh. Oh my God. Is this the punishment you have landed on? Why do you treat your loyal followers? The angel betrayed us. This is an extremely shameful act. Oh God. If you really exist, do you have to let go of this situation? Fake. These are already conspiracies created by damn dragon people. There are also those who are devout and kneel on the ground. At least now it proves that God really exists, doesn't it? Undoubtedly, our God resides in Penglai Island. I want to visit our Heavenly Father. He walked from the darkness, holding the light in his hand. The headquarters of the Mutant Brotherhood several streets away. This is our ultimate direction of perfect evolution. Looking at the angel Ingzi in the picture, the gray-haired Magneto King showed a rare hint of excitement. With an unusually surging heart, he couldn't help but clench his fist and say, "It seems that I need to redesign my combat plan." Avengers Headquarters. Tony. Now Natasha and Hawkeye have both been captured. Even the Crusaders of the Eastern Expedition were eliminated. So you're still studying these robots here, indifferent. In the suddenly rising tone, the American team, holding a golden shield and with a resolute face, walked over with a fierce momentum. In sight, Tony is with the help of Jarvis. We are constantly constructing 3D models of angels. As each detail was constantly patched up, even Tony, who had always been eye-catching, couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. Extremely beautiful. This is simply too beautiful. If these also belong to the realm of technology, they can be considered masterpieces in the field of technology. If given enough time, I may not be able to research it out. Bang! The American team slammed the table hard and said in a deep voice. I said, Tony, do you understand what you're actually doing now? Under intense vibration, the holographic projection was suddenly interrupted. Looking at the American team with fiery eyes, Tony furrowed his brow slightly and said in a faint voice. Steve, actually, I've always been very clear about what I'm doing. The only person who can't figure out the situation is actually you. What do you mean by that? Said the American team with a slight pause in their expression. My meaning is very simple. Tony casually swiped and retrieved the border map. From beginning to end, this battle was conducted within *** territory. That is to say, the role played by the Crusaders in this seemingly one-sided massacre was not honorable. And before taking action, this angel also gave them enough time to escape. But from the results, some bastards are just too overconfident. At this point, Tony's face showed a strong hint of mockery. It is obvious that Tony is not very fond of these knights. What about Natasha and Hawkeye? They are our comrades in arms. But you should also be clear about what Natasha and Hawkeye are doing. Tony repeated word by word, they're planning to steal something from someone else. Just like those bullshit trying to steal the design blueprint of the steel suit from my hands. After a long silence, the US team nodded and said, so what do you plan to do next? Do nothing. Tony spoke out without looking back, we can only wait quietly now. If we rashly pass now, it's just a matter of dying. And during the investigation, I also discovered a very terrifying thing. Terrifying things. This sentence immediately aroused the curiosity of the American team. Tony, what do you mean by that? The meaning is very simple. Tony took a deep breath and slowly spoke out. After investigating a large amount of historical materials, I found that this mysterious angel civilization runs through the entire human history. Or, in other words, it gave birth to our entire human civilization.